Hi, I'm Rachel and welcome back to my channel. So today I've got my nana here. Nana, and this is my nana Maureen.
Hello.
And we're going to chat to my nana today about what it was like being a mum in the 50s and 60s.
My first child was born on the 10th of February 1954.
That's my dad.
And the second one was born on the 9th of March 1956.
Yeah.
The third one was the 26th of August 1958. When I had the first one, I was 17.
Yeah, really young.
The second one, I was 19.
Yeah.
The third one, I was just 22. I had three under four by the time I was 22.
Blooming neck. So you had your kids really young. Did you get a lot of support? What was that like? Was there a stigma to having kids young in the 50s?
Of course there was a stigma. Most young mothers had their child adopted, and I had no support from anyone except your granddad. I didn't really know anybody else, but no support at all. It was a case of me and your granddad. You've done it, get on with it.
Yeah.
Which I suppose was the right thing to do, because we did.
And you got married when you found out you were pregnant?
I found out I was pregnant, and my mum more or less told me that I was pregnant, and she said, we'll have to get you married. That's how it was. You have to get you married.
Then, weren't you?
I was 16 then. So we had the stupidest of weddings anybody's ever had. They're just me and your granddad, a friend of mine and a friend of your granddad's there, at Chesterfield Register Office. I had no wedding dress, I had no party, no reception, anything like that, because we had no money.
I'm sure one of you had told me before, well, for our wedding reception we had a pot of tea.
Well, we
At least you
didn't. We
get
didn't.
yourselves
My
into
mum
debt.
managed to put a ham tea on.
Yeah.
And my dad was at work, never even acknowledged that I'd got married.
Gosh. What was the maternity care like in the 50s?
At the maternity care, I had to find out myself. Somebody told me there was a clinic there and I had to go myself. I did everything on my own.
You didn't have any pain relief or anything like that in those days,
Well,
did
I
you?
don't know what you had. Oh, no.
So you had the baby and then how long did you stay in hospital afterwards?
I went into the hospital, like I've just said, on the 10th of February 1954. But because that was treated as your first day, I didn't come out until the 23rd of February 1954, which means I was in that bed for 14 days.
I mean, that is something that's changed a lot.
In bed.
Yeah.
I don't mean on a chair. I mean in bed. You didn't have the babies. They were in a nursery.
Did you get a lot of breastfeeding support and things like that?
No, she said he's not going to get it himself, Maureen, so I had to learn how to do it.
The good thing about those days was you had a long time to rest after you'd had a baby, whereas now you're out the next day.
And you didn't have the baby, you see. You just had him.
I mean, I would hate that though, but I suppose that's just how it happened.
And your granddad didn't see the child properly until we came home.
2
You could
weeks
only see
old.
him through a glass window. I don't think men should be there.
Do you know that?
No, I don't. I don't think they should
That's
be
really
there.
interesting. So, did you work when you were a mum of young kids?
I did, but I didn't get paid. It was in the house.
You have worked as a mum when the kids were a bit older. You did go out to work, didn't you?
Rachel, I haven't got enough fingers to tell you how many jobs I had.
Yeah. What was the attitude though in society generally to working mums? Did people generally believe that women should be in the home looking after the kids? Do you think in the 50s?
To be honest, Rachel, I can't answer that because I never bothered what other people thought.
Yeah.
I just knew we'd got to have some money from somewhere.
Yeah.
And
what was domestic life like as a mum in the 50s and 60s?
I mean, I was born in the 30s, so I used to mangle with my mum. Now I didn't have to go to a gym.
When you say mangle, so were you mangling clothes in the 50s? So
yes, because I didn't have a washing machine.
So when did washing machines come in?
Well, they come in then, but I hadn't got enough money to...
Yeah.
Girls of then...
just got on with it, did they?
They got on with it. They didn't moan about what they didn't have. If you could get better, which we did, but we didn't do anything. We didn't have a social life. I didn't have clothes. I just think there was one dress in my wardrobe.
Yeah.
I went to a grammar school. I was heading for better things.
Yeah.
But
So you were always aspirational, weren't you? To
always,
work
I've
and
always
get ahead.
trod those
Yeah.
to get better.
Yeah.
Always, I've never sat back and in my laurels.
Yeah.
Never.
I honestly think that gave Dad a sense of that as well, and that's why he kind of aimed high. And then I was the first person in our family to go to university.
You were?
Was I? Yeah, I was, yeah.
You were?
So I think that came from you being aspirational, and that kind of...
Well,
Yeah.
it's a case of being not satisfied with your lot.
Yeah. What pressures did mums face back then? Do you think mums faced similar pressures that they do today, or was it completely different?
I think today you mums face tremendous pressures.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think you are required to go back to work when you've only just had a child, which is disgusting. And it's a question of whether they've taken on too much.
I agree with that. I think
and expect too much.
we've been kind of sold I think in the kind of 70s and 80s we were sold that kind of idea of having it all. And
your generation, I think, have got it tough.
I think there's more pressures in our generation of mums because of things like social media and comparing each other, and you've not only got to kind of get your figure back into shape and all those things. I think there's a lot more pressure in those senses of kind of slightly competitive.
You see, I can't... you're university educated, so obviously you're going to want to use that tool. And you're not going to sit at home twiddling your thumbs, knitting a jacket or whatever you're going to do when you've been educated, but you could, and then you could go back later.
I think there's been a culture over the last 20 years of debt and having things now instead of...
Oh, don't get me wrong, Rachel, we were in debt. And when I say in debt, it'd probably be for about £20.
Yeah.
But that sounds a lot. You know, when you're paying 2 and 6 off a week.
Yeah.
I ended up with three jobs.
3 jobs. That's crazy.
Now working at Pitt.
Yeah.
I kept surveying up because I only getting about £5 a fortnight.
Yeah.
Salary.
Yeah.
I went in Pitt and got twice as much money just by going down Pitt as a workman. And then I was a part-time car mechanic for Laundry at Kalo.
Yeah.
And I was playing in a band, playing trumpet in a band for a bit of money.
Yeah.
And that's what you had to do.
Yeah, that's my granddad. And I'm really sorry that you've not been on the film.
I will have been married 63 years.
Yeah.
63.
And
for the last 5 has been the worst for us both.
Yeah.
In all aspects. Because Grandad took ill, as you know. Our lives changed. But, like everything else, we're going to get on with it.
Keep buggering on.
Keep going on, oxygen or no oxygen.
Yeah.
We manage to get out every day.
And that's really...
And if there's any qualms about this, it's usually a pub.
Yeah.
Because, you know, no, there isn't. And I meet friends and we've got quite a decent life.
Yeah.
But my whole life, if you want the real truth, is the family.
Yeah. What's it like becoming a grandmother, which is, you became a grandmother at how old?
I was 43.
I've got friends that are 43 that haven't even had kids yet.
Yeah. I've got 6 great-grandchildren, that's from yesterday.
Yeah.
And 4 grandchildren.
So what's that like? What's it like becoming a grandmother, and what's the difference?
I've always had a great affinity with all my grandchildren, all of them.
It's strange. I'm already looking forward to becoming a grandparent, and I will be really upset if my children don't have kids.
Anyway, is that it?
Yeah.
Right,
I think that's it. Thank you so much.
It's all right.
Have a little cuddle.
That's okay.
Thank you so much for doing that video with us. So that's it. So bye for now.
I can do another one anytime you want.
So bye.
Bye.
Bye. And Grandad say bye as well. Hang on. Wave bye bye.
Bye bye.